Um, Having played a lot of um, one-day cricket and white ball cricket and batting at 3, I have had a good understanding of how situations can go and how things turn immediately. So I think that would help me being aware in the field, understanding what I would do in this situation as a batsman. So it always helps when you are a top order batsman yourself and you've seen all situations while batting. Yes, definitely I would like to take the bulk of the responsibility now, to bat through the innings, hold one end, let the others express themselves the way they want to with individual plans around me. Obviously, we're talking about a very experienced cricketer. You know, he's played a lot of limited overs matches, and his record speaks for itself. So I'm sure he, with not having that extra burden of taking responsibility, sometimes it can restrict you as a batsman. I've also felt that quite a few times, but maybe because my game is dependent on me playing in an offensive way, I haven't had to curb my game down too much, because I knew that if I do that, it won't work for my game and it doesn't benefit the team in any way. But MS was able to absorb that pressure for a long time. But I'm sure with the burden not being there anymore, I'm sure he'll be able to express himself as a batsman, experiment a bit with the offensive skills that he displayed when he came in. Not that he didn't display it after, but he was very calculative with it, understanding the team situation. Now knowing that I'm willing to take up the responsibility, majority of it, he can be more expressive. I saw a stat yesterday, I don't know, somewhere I saw it. 95% of the appeals that he's made in his career have been successful appeals. So as a captain, I have no, sort of extra thinking as far as DRS is concerned. He's one voice. If he tells me it's outside the line or if it's missing, the decision stands there. It's not left up to doubt or any further debate from there on. He's someone who's always been very smart with his concern because he's in the best position, plus he's the most intelligent cricketer around, so there's no doubting that. A player like Shikhar, everyone is aware of his ability. You try to keep that player, someone like Shikhar, in a good headspace, because once he's clear in his head, he can really take the game away from the opposition. That's something we try to do, give him as much space as possible, not speak too much about the game. That's something that I like to do. Knowing the kind of player Shikhar is and the kind of person he is, it's better to leave a guy like that to his own planning and own thinking rather than giving your plans to him, because he's so instinctive. Once he gets going, he just finds more options than anyone else once he's in the game and he has momentum. I've seen guys really struggling to bowl at him when he's in full flow. So yeah, it's all about giving him his own space to prepare initially. In one-day cricket, I still feel that he possesses a lot of quality and ability to set up the game for the other batsmen, or even he bats long as well. He can really bat till the 45th over once he gets going. So he has a lot of positives. That's what we always back Shikhar on. Yes, that is something that we discussed before picking UV, was that we cannot leave so much burden on MS alone in the middle order. I'm willing to take up the responsibility of the order, but there needs to be one more guy with him down the order in case the top order doesn't fire. If the top order doesn't fire, then you're left with MS alone, and he's guiding the youngsters more often than not, which is fine if you have, say, 15-20 games till a big tournament. But when you have only 3 games to prepare for a big tournament, I think you need to get all your resources in place. You need to make sure that the guys you pick are in good form, are in good nick, have momentum. So right now we don't have the time to nurture that one spot as such, because there's a big tournament coming up straight away. So that's why UV was brought into the team. We had discussed Raidu as well, but Raidu has been injured for a long time. He didn't have game time behind him. UV has had a very good first last season, so obviously he was, in the reckoning before anyone else. So I think just gives the team much more balance in the middle order, lower middle order, along with MS and UV. They can really guide Kedar and Hardik still with them, but to have two experienced guys compared to one is a massive difference. And I'm sure, Hardik and Kedar can learn a lot from them, batting around them, and I think it'll be great for them. I haven't felt the burden at all. I was actually pretty delighted to be given captaincy of all three formats. I think it just adds to the responsibility, and it makes you a better player, a better person, and that's something that I always have liked, that aspect of captaincy. I personally feel until you try something, you can never know what's the max limit that you can, actually execute that thing or achieve in that particular aspect. I felt in the past people have already, created limitations in their own head in terms of what they can do and what they cannot before even trying. So if the burden is too much, I don't know. Maybe in future I will be able to assess that much more. But as of now, I think I'm pretty ready and accepting of taking captaincy in all three formats, and I feel pretty honored. I don't feel any stress. I'm not thinking about the burden at all. It just gives me more opportunities to take Indian cricket forward, which I think is the best thing to happen to anyone.